Put on your long johns and warm up the cocoa, friends, because we're headed into Thrillsville. Apologies, I've been watching a lot of game theory lately. The biggest question for us entering the first icy level, will the rest of the world be like it? I'll leave that up to your own discovery. Right away, we notice the red switch awaits us on the chimney instead of an entrance into an icy slide, let's say. That is actually right over here. That's right, it's really fun and not horrifyingly dangerous and fast. Well, it's not that dangerous, actually. I've always enjoyed snowy levels in games like this. That's why I really liked Freezeezy Peak in Banjo-Kazooie and Cool Mountain in Super Mario 64, amongst others. I just like the wintry feel they give, and the music is always so cheerful. I haven't mentioned it before, but it's most interesting to note here that the hatches in all these levels are different and are changed to reflect the level they're in. The reason I bring it up now is because these hatches are the insides of houses with big warm fires. Again, adding to the wintry feel. As you saw, that puzzle was easy enough because we could just jump up to the diamond after too long. The palette swaps this time around are unfortunately the least inspired. They're effectively the first level enemies covered in snow, like snowmen. There is one exception, but we'll get to that later. And the only way I can describe those machines are turrets that unleash frosty air. Don't be alarmed by them, though, for the freezing is only a minor inconvenience. You can't move for a bit, but it doesn't take away any life or anything. And the W's at the top of these trees look like they're waiting for us to punch them and receive coins, but no such luck. They are just decorations. Yeah, see? Freezes, but doesn't hurt. Those sledding yetis won't hurt you either. They, like the turrets, only serve to be an annoyance, really. If you're too close to the bottom, though, you will fall into the unicorn pit. Now, Angler Mangler here, not at all related to the one from Finding Nemo, is an enemy similar to the Crystal Tower, so you have to use his own minions against him. Yeah, unlike the tower, where you actually hit the enemies against him, you have to slam the Barrel Buster, these little minions are called. There they are. You have to hit him into the ground beneath his Eska, his big hanging light there. And if you're wondering how many times you have to do this, think of that golden rule that the game's enemies love to live by. The icicles he shoots as well will only freeze you. No damage, though. Yep, simple 3 hits and he's down. Now, these icy slides over here may be fun, but they can be equally as frustrating. If you can see, there's a... there it is. Statue piece at the end of the left slide. We need to stay to the left to reach a plateau that we can't get to otherwise. Okay. I've missed that so many times. Another crystal slide we can't get away from. I almost did there, but don't worry. You don't need to see him. And we can see the palette swaps for our Triceratopses are like polar bears. And the Megons there were snowmen with little spindly arms. I may be a hardened old man. I've been criticized as such. But covering the enemies in snow doesn't do a whole lot for the intimidation factor. Maybe it's just me. I don't have like a snowophobia or something like that. Thankfully, the presents on these trees are just decorations, and don't ambiguously hide their own treasures in them. It'd be a nightmare to have to look through all of them. Oh, right there is an example of where the turrets could be more annoying than anything else. I could have fallen off there, thankfully I didn't, or else I'd had to scale the trees all over again. In my test runs, that happened a few times. Another simple enough puzzle room here. If you're on the proper side, like that, all you have to do is jump higher and higher up. Just like that. And what does our spriteling have to say this time? Icicle mites, huh? Used as steps, huh? If you remember this for later, I'll explain why it's a pointless thing to have them be used in this level. At this point, you could head down to the bottom, but I was moronic in forgetting to get a statue piece over there. I even heard it doing its little glimmering noise. Mobby. Now we can head down and see what horrors await us underneath the surface. And our big horror? Another fighting ring, goddammit! Get out of here! This isn't WWE 13 or anything. A little more interesting music. Now here are the mites, and when you pound them into the ground, like so, they can be used as stepping stones. That doesn't always help. The reason is... yeah, you can do that. Can't do that in every single one, but right there you can definitely. And we're going to stay at the upper path. That's pretty much the way you have to go the whole time to get to where all the good stuff is. For the most part. Our first locked hatch here. It's not that bad. No coordination necessary. Just hit each switch immediately. And then they move at different speeds. Some move faster and others slower, so it was a little close, but as you can see, it's easy enough to get to them. Speaking of game theory, I actually saw an episode where they talk about how garlic increases Wario's flatulence. And I thought, hey, I'm playing through a game like that right now. No more shameless plugging for it, though. Please bring me out. Can never have enough coins. Can have enough icicle mites, though. Don't need you anymore. What's this? A sliding glacier blocking our path. Well, it doesn't move quickly, so you can jump or walk around it. Or you can ram into it to reveal a turtle. Turtle. That's a strong turtle to carry a giant chunk of ice on its back. Come here, turtle. Use yourself for the greater good, why don't you? Now, we had a similar hatch to this one in the previous world. Horror Manor was the level, I believe. And the deal is getting across the first rotating platform without a problem, and grabbing some coins along the way, and hurrying a little bit faster along the second one. And being careful not to get trapped so you fall down to your death. Now, this spriteling here actually has decent advice. The Fattingtons will end up being pretty much the most annoying enemies in this level. It's not the hardest contest to win, though. I would feel sorry for these turtles, since we're using them explicitly for our own personal advancement. But then I remember, they were just being roadblocks before. Now they can actually be used for the greater good. Now, a little up ahead here is the only time when the icicle mites are going to be useful for us. We could get the spriteling up here by dropping down, but as I'll explain later, that only redoubles potential time being wasted, so we'll not be doing that. Yeah, mountain is big. And we could get something after that, but we're not going to. It's nothing really that special. And due to all the narrow pathways in this cave, it makes falling into the pit much easier. In a test run, I did actually fall in about 6 or 7 times, which led to several hundred coins being lost. I'd be more ashamed of this if coins were more important. This hatch is easy, but it's important to hit that switch first. Maybe I'm just a moron, but The first time I saw these, I began hitting the blocks right away. Of course nothing happened because I hit them in the wrong order. And I got kind of easily frustrated by it, so don't let the same happen to you. Just gonna backtrack to our darker green chest here now that we can switch, no big deal. Now here is our first encounter with the Fattingtons. They are fat. Not a whole lot of character development there. You don't want to hit them too hard, in fact, arguably not at all, or you will go plummeting into the abyss. They're easy enough to dodge because they're so fat, because they walk a little slowly, as you can tell. Unlike Wario, who is surprisingly nimble for such a rotund man. I'd wonder how the Fattingtons live in such harsh climates, but they probably have most of that as blubber to keep them warm. It's a shame that none of these golden hatches are themed to the level. I realize that none of them do that, but it would be nice if they could do something with ice or snow here. I mean, they did it before in the carnival level with the icy floating blocks. Why not do it here? It'd be a perfect fit. Instead, we're just passing on lazily floating blocks and narrowly missing the platform, so I'm officially not one to talk as, I guess. Now, we haven't gotten all the usage out of the Angiron just yet. We're going to use him to beat a certain Fattington that does get in our way. There's no real way to hurt them outside of smacking them with other enemies. Unlike glaciers as well, you can't really jump around them, especially not on this narrow walkway. Fitting that we used the Angiron too, as his snowman head, more than any other, looks like the dumb Jack Frost killer snowman head. Like I said before, that's the other way you drop down to where the Spriteling was, but then we would jump back up. We'd have to retread our steps. I like the giant polar bear here. I've always kind of liked polar bears because they're big and white. Just like me. In real life, my friends have compared me to one, actually, so there you go. At least I don't look like these spindly little fellas, though. They should have had something hiding in the Santa sack there on the sleigh. Like a statue piece. Makes sense, because it's like a present for Wario. Alright, snowmen. The Chiller Killer, that's me, and I'm back for more coins. And what looked to be a bottle of perfume? Actually, I'm not sure. I'll just get us through this part again. Nothing new. Now that we're back outside, my one advice is don't stop running up this hill. Now the Fattingtons will fall, making it a huge pain to get past them if you don't. All for one lowly little hatch. And all this one needs is good jumping, timing, hand-eye coordination. You could rotate, or you could just wait until it could both line up at the front. Whichever is faster in your book. So what awaits us up ahead? Ah, look at this. I can't believe they gave me another fighting ring. And yeah, near the end they spit out a ton of bombs that, now that I look at them, have faces and are a lot more creepy. And another Angler Mangler! Jeez, enough already. Well, the Yetis are back. Still not very annoying. Better get away from the edge. Fall down to the pit. Been good about that this whole level. Treasure chest. And now for the last slide. Instead of sliding down left like usual, you're going to go down the right side. And okay, got it. Now we don't have to head back at all. I swear, these things are awful. If you miss even one, you have to retread the whole level for it. It may not seem like much, but it takes nearly 5 minutes to get it all done. Going back and getting the chest piece, excuse me, the statue piece, it's just a nightmare. Last hatch here looks bad, but it's not the worst. Just jumping at the right time. Now the Winter Winster. Yeah, it may not sound horrible, but... well, let's just say he got inspiration of creepiness from the Brawl doll. Not entirely, but you'll see what I mean. Just making sure we've got all of our stuff now. We are good to go. Stupid enemies, don't cramp my style. Go away. I don't want no part of you. Alright, here we go. Okay, everything looks pretty standard so far. Jesus Christ, that thing is creepy! Looks like a baby-faced Super Saiyan Goku. Be better suited in a character in Eastern Mind. Sheesh. Anyways, his basic attacks are Frost Breath and Bluish Laser Shots. When you're frozen, he'll come down and start attacking. And later on, you'll see that's what we want to happen. And yeah, his creepiest attack is his Red Eyes attack. Simply put, don't look into them. Like, literally, look away from him while he does it. You don't even have to really move, just as long as you're not looking at him. It won't hurt you when the attack happens. You'll notice me trying to throw... I know they're icy rocks, but the way he drops them makes them look like giant frozen turds. But throwing them in the lava pool, I'm trying to do it here, makes lava spurt out. And if it hits him, which I've failed pretty spectacularly at up to this point, okay, that one hurt him a little bit. As you see, it stuns him and sends him to the ground if he's in the air. It's not of vital importance, but it would be nice to actually land it. Evidently, I have a bad habit of doing it right behind him instead of where he is going. Yeah, just like that. See, that's what we want to have happen. That way he gets frozen and we lure him down there. When you get out of it quickly, you can just smack him. And when he attacks, you want to smack him first, of course, because otherwise he'll just deal an immediate full heart of damage to you. The part I was sucking at that I cut out, I actually got hit by it. So... creepy. So if the Winter Winster gives you nightmares tonight, I am not held responsible for them, and I apologize if he does. Ah, man. Well, I would cut this out, but I haven't shown it yet. When you get a game over, you can pay a certain amount of coins to respawn, which we will do. Amazingly, you don't have to do the level over, or even the boss fight from the beginning. As you can tell, you immediately respawn with 2/3 of your health right back. Kind of amazing how easy it makes the game, in all honesty. Not the most challenging game design tactic, but of course, in this instance, I will not complain. No gift horse looking in the mouth type action here. Good, I caught his tail at one of his frozen rocks. Alright, friend, you've been uncooperative and sufficiently creepy. From your looks to your deep voice, I'm to send you back to the frozen hell where you belong! And while you're down there, get a haircut, why don't you? Because you look ridiculous! Well, that's the end of the ice level. Not sad to see that one go. I mean, I liked it, but it was still a good deal frustrating in its own right. Now our next level? Well, as you'll see in a moment, or as you could probably tell from there, Let's just be glad that Jack isn't around, nor any giants. Hint, hint. Kinda.